Hey, Jossie, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you, but the other person before, it was kind of tough.
Yeah, I had the same problem, so I wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Um, just to start out, last week when we talked to Caleb after the Philly game, he talked about the offense, still kind of figuring out some stuff, maybe not being quite as ready as the defense is early in the season, but talked about needing practice time and things like that. Obviously, you guys have had 10 days here. How much of a focus has that been for you guys, and where do you think you guys have made progress over these last few days?
Yeah, so I agree with Caleb. Our first game of the season, the attack wasn't where we wanted it to be, but we used this extra time and this bye week to kind of focus more on the attack, and establish uh our playing in certain positions, So I think the more we train together and the more we play together, things will get better in the attack.
I apologize for the inconvenience. We'll continue with Jacob Myers.
Hey, Jossie, good to speak with you. This is a level of which the club has rarely been at, and Caleb talked to us about how this club has never been past the quarterfinals. I'm sure all of you are aware of kind of the milestones this matchup presents. What is, just for you and the club, what does it mean to, I guess, be able to measure yourself early in the season against a Liga MX giant like Monterrey?
Yeah, so for us, you basically said everything that we've talked about in meetings. Not only has the club haven't progressed far in this tournament, but also an MLS team winning this. We have high expectations, high goals, and I think that it's going to be a great test playing against a huge club like Monterrey. They're going to obviously come here and play us the first leg, and that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on this game tomorrow, and then we'll focus on the second leg when it comes to that. But it's just a great test, especially early on in the year. So it'll be an amazing opportunity to really battle it out with Monterrey.
Thank you. Hi, Yassi. I hope you're doing well. Well, so I want to ask you, what have you know in the team? What do you know of Club Rayados de Monterrey, and how are you going to face this match? Thank you and good luck.
Yeah, so we watched some film on their team, and we've seen a couple glimpses of how they like to play. But in the game of soccer, sometimes things change. We're aware of certain players on their team. It's just a matter of if those players play or not, just because, with them and with us, we have a quick turnaround after this game. So we're not sure who they're going to play. But, once it comes to that, we'll have a solution for it. We've really been focusing on ourselves this week and playing our way. So it's going to be extremely important that we start off on the right foot.
Patrick Murphy.
Giassi, you just talked about how difficult Monterrey will be. And obviously in the first series, you guys got off to that really good start in Nicaragua. How important is it to have a good start over these two-leg series, especially this time playing at home first?
Yeah, according to analytics, it's extremely important to try to come out strong and try to win the first game, because usually teams are much more successful going into the second leg. So we're at home, and it's going to be a tough battle, but we're prepared for it.
We'll take two more questions. Tom Bolger.
Hey, Jesse, thanks for doing this. Kind of a similar question to what Jacob was saying on what this game means to the club. So I guess different angle to that is how do you guys think your talent stacks up with CF Monterrey in that? In recent years, the kind of narrative was that MLS teams could have the same top end talent, but maybe not the same depth. Where would you put, your squad next to their squad?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're the same team. We're on the same playing field. I feel that way about every team in the Champions League. You're in the Champions League for a reason, because you're a champion of either a tournament or a league play. So every game is going to be a battle, and I feel like you're going to see tomorrow two great clubs and organizations go head to head. So I'm really excited to have an opportunity to battle against Monterrey tomorrow.
The last question, we Renata.
Hey, Jossie, good to see you. Obviously, you guys are entering a really tough stretch here, 6 games in the next 19 days. But the fact you're going to be on the road a lot, and this is going to be one of only 2 home games during that stretch. I'm just kind of wondering from the road perspective. Obviously, you guys didn't have as much success on the road. Do you feel like this is a great opportunity for you guys to start off the season with some big road points, getting all these games early on?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm actually excited that we have a lot of away games early on in the year because that wasn't our strong suit last year, and we understood that. But now it's a new season, a new year, and we were able to change that storyline. So I'm excited to play a lot of games on the road at the beginning of the year because, man, if you pick up wins on the road, it's huge. And then we're home game heavy the remainder of the season. So it sets us up for the remainder of the year. But it's going to be a long season. It's going to be a long grind, and I'm excited to start it.
Yassi, thank you so much. We this conclude the first part of the press conference. Now we invite player Milton Valenzuela.
Thank you.
Thank you. Milton, buenas tardes, bienvenido.
Hola, buenas tardes, muchas gracias.
Iniciamos con Abraham Durán.
Buenas tardes, Milton. Te saluda Abraham Durán de Presport, de aquí en Monterrey. ¿Cómo se prepara el equipo de Columbus para este partido? ¿Qué significa para ti el enfrentar a uno de los equipos que ha hecho historia en esta competición en la última década? ¿Cómo lo toma el grupo? Y pues también el reto que se les representa, pues enfrentar en cuartos de final a un equipo mexicano. Gracias.
Sí, creo que estamos preparándolo de la mejor manera posible. Es un partido importante, es una competencia que en lo personal es nueva, primer partido que voy a jugar de primer año que juego este torneo. La verdad que con muchas ganas, con mucha predisposición, estamos entrenando duro, sabemos que es un rival de jerarquía, que tenemos que hacer un gran partido tanto aquí en Columbus como en Monterrey la próxima semana, pero el equipo está bien, estamos con confianza, sabemos que tenemos un buen plantel, un buen equipo y que vamos a jugar de igual a igual.
Jacob Myers.
Hey, Milton, good to talk to you. You know Lucas as well as anyone on this team. Do you think he has an even greater sense of pride in games like these against top clubs, especially a club in Monterrey that obviously he has a ton of experience playing?
Sí, creo que es un partido especial para todos. Seguramente aún más para él, que ha estado jugando en Tigre mucho tiempo. Es el clásico rival, tiene un condimento especial. Pero bueno, tanto como para él como para el resto es un partido muy importante para nosotros. Es una buena medida y sí, en estos partidos siempre hay que dar un plus.
Yes,
Surely, I have it, Franco. Surely, he's been playing for Tigres for a long time, and this is a very important classic match. But as good as much as for the rest, it's a very important game for us. It's a way to measure ourselves, and to be honest with you, we kind of even. Ramón Betech.
Muchas gracias. Hola, Milton. Espero que te encuentres muy bien. Yo te quiero preguntar, pues, ¿qué es lo que ustedes como equipo sienten en este momento? Bueno, obviamente desde que Columbus fue campeón de la Major League Soccer, ¿y qué sienten de que están aquí, de que han llegado a esta fase de la competición? Muchas gracias, buena suerte.
Disculpa, ¿me puedes repetir la pregunta?
Sí, claro. Ramón Betech para RB9 Foot. Mi pregunta es, bueno, obviamente desde que el equipo fue campeón de la Major League Soccer, ¿qué es lo que sienten ya estando en estas instancias, en esta fase de la ConcaChampions League? Muchas gracias y buena suerte.
Bueno, sí, fuimos los campeones el año pasado, estamos muy contentos con eso, pero bueno, es un nuevo año, tenemos nuevas expectativas, nueva competencia este año con la ConcaChampions y bueno, no, estamos metidos como lo estuvimos el año pasado para conseguir la MLS, este año para conseguir de nuevo, si se puede, obviamente la MLS y también la ConcaChampions. Sabemos que son partidos por eliminación, así que partido a partido hay que darlo todo y el equipo está con mucha confianza y con muchas ganas de hacer un buen papel en esta copa y darlo todo para poder ganar.
Patrick Murphy.
Hi, Milton. One of the things Caleb talked to us about after the Philadelphia game was getting kind of the offensive cohesion together. He didn't feel like there was great chemistry for their opening game. How much have you guys been working on kind of the build-up play and getting the offense, scoring goals, those type of things over the last several days you've had off?
Sí, creo que nos faltó un poco controlar el juego más adelantados dentro del campo del juego, crear más situaciones, más llegadas. Trabajamos eso durante esta semana que estuvimos, fue creo que un poco el focus de esta semana y bueno, creo que es algo que tenemos, lo hemos demostrado el año pasado, pero bueno, enfrentamos a un gran rival que quizá también no nos dejó tener ese control tanto en ofensiva, presionaron bien, pero sí, es la idea siempre del equipo, generar muchas situaciones, hacer goles y bueno, tener el control en ofensiva.
Yeah, we definitely, it's something that we had to do the last game. We didn't have much control, but that's something that we've been working on during this past week. I think this is something that we have demonstrated last year, but we'll have a great rival. They pressure us, they will pressure us, and this is the idea. I think we'll always have many situations to score goals, and it is good to have heartless control. José Luis Garza.
Gracias. Buena tarde desde Monterrey, José Luis Garza, de ABC Deportes. Preguntarte sobre todo, ¿qué tanto puede influir que el equipo de Monterrey llegue con una racha negativa de 3 derrotas? ¿Cómo lo ven ustedes en ese aspecto? Que pierde el clásico, el duelo contra Tigres. Y en un caso dado, si ya Lucas Larayán les ha comentado qué tipo de jugadores o en tu conocimiento, Milton, qué jugadores son los más peligrosos que ven.
Sí, creo que al ser un partido, o sea, 2 partidos por eliminación, no creo que influya mucho cómo vienen ellos en los últimos partidos, como bien decís. Es un partido distinto, 2 partidos distintos en los que uno se juega la eliminación o el avanzar en la Copa, así que creo que no va a tener mucho que ver eso. Y bueno, Luca conoce la liga, conoce a Monterrey de habernos enfrentado muchas veces. Nosotros también conocemos algunos, en lo personal conozco a algunos de los jugadores, sabemos que tienen jugadores de jerarquía, más que nada en ofensiva, que vamos a tener que estar atentos y bueno, están concentrados porque son jugadores que en un momento te pueden definir un partido.
Milton, muchísimas gracias. Con eso concluimos la conferencia de prensa con el jugador e invitamos al entrenador Caleb Porter.
Bueno, muchas gracias. Hasta luego. Buenas tardes.
This conference with the player. Now we invite Coach Caleb Porter.
No hay problema.
Coach, good morning, Coach. Welcome. If you can please help me unmuting the coach's microphone before we start. we'll begin with Patrick Murphy.
Caleb, hope things are going well. When we talked to you after the Philly game, you talked a lot about kind of getting the offense going, that cohesiveness that maybe just wasn't there in that game. How much over these last 10 days or so has that been a focus for you guys, especially in what I imagine is a game where you feel like you need to score playing at home against a team like Monterrey?
Yeah, obviously we had a pretty big window without a match, so it gave us the opportunity to get on the training ground and, you know, to not have to worry about recovery, where we could dig into some things. You know, against Philly, I still thought we had some good half chances. You're not going to get a ton of clear chances against Philly, the way they play, the way they defend. So you have to keep that in perspective. But yeah, we dug in just a little bit, you know, our build up. There were times where we didn't switch play enough. There were times where we were impatient, some spacing issues with the 6 and 8. Some of those little details we dug into, even just the final third, you know, being clear in how we can open up teams and some of the ideas, some of the decisions, you know, the precision, even just the technical quality, working on that. We spent a lot of time. You know, it doesn't mean we're going to go and score 4 or 5 goals. Maybe, you never know, but you know, I think it's important, you know, to score. You have to work on it. You know, obviously, even if you have an experienced team, you have to get those connections right. Our mindset is going to be to attack and to score, but we have to be patient as well. It's, you know, it's a 180-minute plus game, and, you know, we don't want to be giving to get in the match. But yeah, can we risk a little bit more at times? You know, get numbers, you know, in the box a bit more. Some of that we looked at. Some of it also is being more patient. Actually, it's the opposite. You know, we overcrossed, and so being patient. A couple more cycles where we keep the ball and you know, move the opponent to disorganize them, to open up spaces. So we'll see. I think it's always the balance, right? So we can't lose the defending. That's going to be important in this game. But can we be a bit better in the attack? That's what we're looking for and hoping for.
Jacob Myers.
Caleb, last time we talked with you, we talked a lot about the defense, how strong they've had to the start of this year. Certainly, this is the toughest task yet, one of the tougher ones of the year. What are some unique challenges that guys like Funes Mori, Maxi Mesa, and others present for this group?
Yeah, just their quality under pressure. I mean, they play in pressure games every week. It's a rabid fan base. Look at where they're at right now on the table. They're up against it. They're chasing it. We know that they've lost some recent games. I think in some ways that back against the wall will give them even more edge and venom, and you know, possibly you know, chip on their shoulder. So they're a team that, like I said, with players that have quality, players that can operate under pressure. And you know, this is a pressure game. You know, it's quarterfinals of a big tournament, and they're coming on the road, and you know, they're more experienced than we are in this position. This is our 3rd time in this position, and we've never advanced from the quarters. They've won the tournament 4 times, so I think it's 4. So they have the experience for sure. But our group will be ready. Our group will be confident. Our group believes in what we do, and we feel like we can execute. But it's going to be tight, and I think they will be, knowing they played a very emotional game against Tigres on Saturday, gave a lot to that match, knowing they have a big league game against Mazatlan on the weekend, knowing they're traveling, knowing they have the second leg at home. I think they'll be smart in how they manage it, and I think they'll be quite happy if they can get a goal, 1 goal, and you know, steal a result, whether it's a draw, whether it's a win. I think that'll that'll be a bit their mindset, so they'll be smart, they'll be patient, they'll be organized, they've got quality in transition. They're a very vertical team. And like I said, they're very experienced. So, every moment will matter, every detail, our mindset, every second is going to be really important because this is the type of team that can, punish you in moments.
Or Renata.
Caleb, I know you told us last week that the guys are feeling healthy and you've only got 2 long-term injuries. I was kind of wondering where Vito Wormhorse status is. Is he training, and can we expect to maybe see him in one of these 2 games this week?
Yeah, he's getting closer. He's been training full out. Obviously he had a broken ankle, so it's a major injury. He needed time to just get over the feeling of soreness and just the stress on, that ankle. Takes time, but he's getting close. So we feel like he'll be close in the next week to hopefully factoring in, and for some minutes in some of these games. He will probably be on the bench this next game, available. Could he be available to play against Montreal? I think so. Eventually, I think we need to throw him in, and he needs his name called. And I think he looks, for me, based on last week or 2, looks ready. Will he be 90 minutes? Probably not. But I think it's time for him to start to get into matches pretty quick here.
Thank you. Hi, Coach. I hope you are doing well. It's Ramon Betech from RB9 Foot. Well, so this question was why we were talking about on this press conference. I want to ask you, how do you think that Lucas Elarayan will feel knowing that he has a past being a Tigres player and he's now facing Monterrey, which is the classic, the rivalry on Mexico, Monterrey? Thank you.
Yeah, I think Lucas is up for it. He's been flying in training, and this is a competition that we're taking as a team very serious. It's a goal of ours to do something that's never been done in our club. We have very little history in the Champions League. As much history as this club has, 26 years, only 3 times in the Champions League. So we want to, increase our visibility, CONCACAF, globally. These are great opportunities to do that. We want to measure ourselves against some of the best teams in CONCACAF. We have the opportunity to do that. We want to grow through these experiences. We want to show that we're a top team, not only domestically, but internationally. And so we're excited to be in it. And I think Lucas is more excited than anyone because he's been in the tournament. He has a history, he has experience in it. And of course, being in Monterrey, living in that city, playing for Tigres, being a part of that rivalry, he's really excited.
We'll take 2 more questions. Don Boger.
Caleb, nice to speak to you again. Kind of on that same thread, how big of an opportunity is this for the Columbus Crew to measure themselves against a team like Monterrey? And where do you feel your talent stacks up with their squad?
I think it's a great opportunity to measure ourselves. I firmly believe that the best clubs in our league are clubs that are consistently in the Champions League. Obviously, they've earned that right through winning, but it helps you continue to grow and measure yourself and grow again your respect, reputation, your brand. Doesn't hurt from the business side either. But I think from a soccer standpoint, these opportunities, help your group grow. We have a positive cycle going on right now with a core group of players. And I think this group of players is very hungry for more trophies and success. And, I'm excited that this group in this cycle has the opportunity to face one of the best teams in CONCACAF, historically speaking. And it's a great opportunity for this group and our club as a whole. You know, is it a statement maker? You know, I don't know. You know, I'm less concerned about that. I'm more concerned about just, you know, advancing in a tournament, but also, yeah, I'm excited quietly to see where this group stacks up with one of Liga MX's best teams and one of the best teams in CONCACAF.
We'll close with Patrick Murphy.
Caleb, going back to Lucas for a minute, just how important, I mean, I know he's important to you guys in every game with what he brings, but that experience that you talked about, and maybe giving some insight to some of the guys about the opponent, having played them, you know, fairly recently, how big can he be in this? And, you know, being a club record transfer and all that, we've seen what he can do, but on this level.
I mean, players are always given little tidbits. I mean, it'd be like, you know, us playing the LA Galaxy and Perry Kitchen talking about. So it's no different than really playing a team where guys know other guys, or maybe they were a part of that team at some point, or they've played against that team. We're not having Lucas stand up and do the scouting report. We scout, you know, every team the same. And so it's no different from that standpoint. It's not like Lucas is going to offer anything different than what another guy might offer. But what guys do offer in the locker room is confidence, a bit of understanding. Maybe it's a little bit of, you know, to the backs. Hey, I know this guy, his tendency type of thing. But those are things that always happen in our league games as well. I think it's more about the confidence. You know, his confidence playing against Monterrey. He's had some good games against them. When we go on the road in Monterrey, he lived there, so, you know, even just, you know, recommendations on how to approach, you know, a little bit going there, you know, what's the best hotel? Some simple things like that, I think, are a little bit more relevant, because he'll know Monterrey, but he won't know him any better, hopefully, than us, because we've scouted him and we're going to be the ones that obviously come up with the plan. But a little conversation here and there, those type of things, the confidence. Maybe it's, hey, this stadium, you know, this is kind of the best way to approach a little bit what I've seen playing against them, you know. So those little things happen all the time. So it's no different.